Polk State College has kicked off its annual celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month. Polk State's President Dr. Angela M. Garcia Falconetti, as well as United States Congressman Darren Soto, spoke to those in attendance.
Polk State College is very dedicated to serving all students. But since we're celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month, I want to give you just a very quick snapshot of what we're doing specifically to move toward assisting more Hispanic students. When I came on board, our now chair, Teresa Martinez, said to me, we need to become a Hispanic serving institution. And I said, I think we'll do that naturally because of the growing Hispanic population, as you just heard Valprissa Baker talk about the growing percentage of Hispanics across the country. But we're making that come true. Using the U.S. Department of Education's data, last year we were at 24.7% Hispanic student population. It takes 25% to become a Hispanic serving institution. So what does that really mean? It doesn't mean that everyone else is forgotten. It just means that it opens us up for grants, for Title IV and Title V grants that can impact and support all students to make sure that they have a successful path to completion here at Polk State. So it's not just the Hispanic students, all students. But we look forward to continuing to support all populations, and specifically as we celebrate a heritage that is my own, being Cuban American. I just know how important it is to be able to provide others with an opportunity to pursue their higher education.
You see that it's not just Hispanic Heritage Month. We are making key decisions along with others in our diverse community here in Polk County to make a difference for this generation and for the next. And it's also exciting because I get to serve in the most diverse Congress ever in the United States, with more women and members of communities of color in the history of our nation. And you could see it by a lot of the energy that goes on and a lot of the different perspectives that we bring. I was asked to speak about my background today. Those of you who've heard me speak before, I generally stick to the issues because that's what it's really about, but I was asked to speak about my background to give some advice to our young people who may be interested one day in running for office. It really starts with, my family background. My father was born in Manatí, Puerto Rico, which I know we have some Boricua in the room here, and moved to the mainland about in second grade. And it's really the American story. He served in the Navy and was able to use the GI Bill to get the first house for our family, and went to college at nights for 6 years in order to provide a better life for us. And he did. We had a very rich childhood, my brother and I. And when I think about, were there any signs back then? There were only a few, I don't think anybody's born as a member of Congress or as a college president or a commissioner or a trustee. Lesson number one, stick to your skill sets. I'm a very lawyerly person by nature and very logical, and so legislation and being a legislator fits my skill sets far more than being on a school board or being on in a local government position. And that was a pretty good lesson to learn. I followed my brother into law school. He went to Georgetown. I ended up going to George Washington. And again, I went there because I was inspired by our nation's capital. But it was more the historical part of it than the politics part of it. For those of you who want to be professionals one day, being bilingual, whether it's in Spanish or Creole around here, will serve you well. Many of the conversations that you have when you meet as a lawyer, they may start in Spanish, but then they go into English and Spanish and back and forth in Spanglish like so many of us speak here. But it's a matter of respect, and it's a matter of comfort and of trust.
So I think it's interesting that Hispanic Heritage Month is just about the only recognition month that actually spans 2 months. It starts like the middle of the month and goes to the middle of the next month.
Yeah, it is interesting. And there's a lot of great things coming up, not just the stuff there at the school, but you've got the Hispanic Festival in Lakeland that's coming up this month. The new organization LULAC is doing their immigration summit that's happening in Lakeland this coming month. So a lot of things going on for Hispanic Heritage Month.
Excellent.
Yeah.